and it's time for Media Watch now. James Creedon is here.
Hi,
and James, hello, thanks for joining us. You've been taking a look at this EgyptAir missing plane as it's played out on social media.
That's right. So for stories like this, we're used to seeing messages of solidarity on social media, and you've graphics and hashtags that have been cropping up, pray for EgyptAir, etc., etc. But it's also been used, apart from images such as these expressing solidarity with the victims, or well, with the disappeared members of flights. We don't, of course, know yet exactly what's happened, but it has also been used as social media generally as a tool of communication by EgyptAir and by various authorities, actually issuing press releases on Facebook. So EgyptAir earlier today saying that indeed, confirmed by the Egyptian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, etc., that wreckage had been found near Karpathos Island. We then saw, adding to the confusion, that Greece denied Cairo's claim that EgyptAir debris had been found. Now, this was a case really of certain predictions such as this by journalists proving to be very true. In other words, contradictory information playing out from various different sources throughout the day. For example, this Lebanese French language media, L'Orient Le Jour, reporting that there had been no distress signal sent by the plane. And in parallel, you had, for example, rolling a news channel here in France, BFM TV, saying that indeed a distress call had been issued. So media, who you would think would be verifying their sources, etc., publishing contradictory information. And indeed, that was how it went throughout the day. So we also saw then, for example, these claims of photographs of the debris being published on social media. This guy, Tarek Wahba, is an employee of the Maersk shipping company based in Alexandria. And he said that a life jacket and part of an airplane chair were found. Now, that doesn't seem to be confirmed by any other source apart from this gentleman himself, who is the captain of a Maersk, he's the employee rather of a Maersk shipping company. But it didn't stop that information being picked up by the Daily Mail, the Telegraph, lots of other media around the world. Even Greek television was playing images of what was supposedly a life jacket from the aircraft. Yet that information is absolutely not confirmed.
It's strange, isn't it, how at these times it's always social media that starts, right, and newspapers, outlets that maybe ought to be checking their sources pick them up.
That's right.
But you're saying that EgyptAir has therefore called on the media to be very, very careful about what they publish and what they don't.
That's right, because an image like that, for example, even if in the case of the Daily Mail, they were saying Mail Online has been unable to independently verify the claims. It doesn't mean that the images aren't going up all over social media and the people aren't getting somewhat perhaps the impression that it is the case. But EgyptAir did issue this appeal for media resources to be assured of the information they post or release. That is how they put it on their Twitter accounts. So via Twitter and Facebook, the communications people at EgyptAir were very active today on social media.
And moving away from the EgyptAir stories, politicians also taking to the social networks, but this time not about EgyptAir, but controversially about Donald Trump.
That's right, Donald Trump, amongst some who was taking to social media, and he basically said, when will we get tough, smart and vigilant? It looks like yet another terrorist attack. This was just hours after the story broke, and while terrorism is one theory, it is absolutely not confirmed. And so I suppose a politician on, on the campaign trail, so to speak, it's some would say perhaps, taking it a little bit too far to start publishing tweets like that. François Hollande also taking to social media to express solidarity with the families who there would be an effort to keep them informed and accompanied throughout. And of course, we saw scenes at Charles de Gaulle Airport throughout the day. This is a photograph from one of our reporters, Pad Thompson, who was at the scene. And indeed, it was just a melee that descended on Charles de Gaulle Airport. People looking for information from, I suppose, the point of departure of that flight, also the point of arrival where the plane, of course, never did arrive. And of course, what can you do in these situations? It's sort of a twilight zone. You don't know where to go to get the information. You don't know where the aircraft is. So people tend to go to the airports. We saw that as well, of course, with the Malaysia Airlines tragedy. Just to finish up on this, speaking of the point of arrival, this is the cartoonist for Le Monde, Plantu, and his depiction of, I suppose, a somewhat, melancholic, sad scene at Cairo Airport last night when the flight, of course, was scheduled to arrive and it didn't.
Yeah, absolutely. No, a very chilling picture in a sense, not your typical cartoon. James Creedon, thank you very much. Thank you for that Media Watch.